Hey, how are you? It's Mark here with J&M Elite Contractors, Roofing and Siding. We're doing a repair down in Cape May County. It's for the Museum of Fine Arts and Pop Culture. It's a nonprofit organization. You should check it out if you're ever down in Cape May. It's a nice area down here. However, it's a repeat customer. We fixed a leak on his home a couple months ago. Now it's the dead of winter, and with some ice and snow, his business on the sidewalls seemed to be having some leak issues. I already investigated the area, and it's due to the recover was put on and they didn't properly step flash the recover walls, the recover coming up to the side walls. So water's getting trapped in between the areas, so we're going to reflash both walls, and that's pretty much it. We're going to reflash the walls and we're going to fix them up, and so we're going to get them dry. And I'm going up on the roof, and I'll be back. This is the problem here. So see this, so when ice and snow is up here and sitting, water's going to back up, of course. And this here is the recover. You can clearly see no step flashing whatsoever. So, and even this, it's moist. In different areas, and my hands are actually getting wet. So what's happening is even though this is a recover, and you can see where they old caulk and everything like that. So I mean, it's like a poor attempt, and it's like wet and moist, all behind there. So basically, what's going to happen is, even the rain, ice, water, snow, whatnot, is going to basically sit up against this wall, and it's going to go underneath this second layer of shingles. And then it's just going to sit there, trickle down, whatnot, and basically rot out or rust out nails and eventually get in. And it's just going to, ruin your roof system. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take out the shingles from here all the way down. We are going to re-step flash it, and we're going to put a modified torch over top of that for the termination, to let the water flow where it's supposed to. And the same thing over here. You can see somebody tried caulking it. I'm going to get taking all these shingles out. It's a real cold one today, so I'm going to get taking all these out. And get water shield it. We're going to cut back some of the modified, smooth torch, concrete, separating wall right there, firewall. Same thing over there. We're going to do the same thing. And up top here, you see this, even though it's not pretty or anything like that, they have, this metal. I'm going to touch up some stuff here, fix up some stuff here. Like you see this here, lift in, we're going to seal that up and everything. But for the most part, we're definitely going to get them dry. And then, in another 3 to 5 years, the shingle isn't in great shape, but it's not terrible. So I mean, you could see over here, they're still icy. It's still icy and everything. But look how it's lifting. All the shingles. I mean, if you look straight up, shingles are just lifting up, and I mean, the water just gets right in between those two layers. And I'm sure I'm going to find exactly the same thing. So I'm going to get hitting this one, taking the shingles out, and try and get everything buttoned up. All right. So here's a little example of what I'm talking about. So now, this wall, you can see the step flash is right here, going underneath the first layer of shingles. However, it's somewhat a little dry there, and then as you come down, the shingles start to moisten up, and then right here, look at that, soaking wet, all saturated and soaking wet. You can see rust, pieces of rust from nails. Some nails completely rusted out over here. So what that does is, the water gets in slowly. you may not see it right away. But once it gets in and it just sits here, because what it's going to do is it's going to get trapped between 2 layers of shingles. And when it gets trapped between 2 layers of shingles, see how these shingles here, right here, deteriorated, you know? So what it's going to do, it's going to break down the shingle first, then it's going to break down, I mean, put a nail in a bucket of water and just leave it, you know, in the elements or whatever, you know, but basically it's going to break down the nail, rust it out completely, and then start going, you know, inside, and then it's going to do it all on the whole wall. And before then, you know, once it rusts out the nails, you know, then you're going to start seeing like just slight leaks. Then it's going to get worse. Then it's going to, you know, get to the sheetrock. Then it's going to start rotting out plywood, you know, and then just like, you know, so we're getting, the plywood doesn't, I've been in the attic, the plywood doesn't look so bad. Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. It's just showing, you know, signs of stains, water stains, and this is what it is. So if you continue to let it go, it's just going to keep going, you know, and then the water, you know, showing signs of water stains are going to turn into rot, you know, rot's going to turn into, you know, down to your sheetrock, you know, and before long, you just got a whole big problem. So, you know, here we're going to just fix it up, you know, and then in, you know, 3 to 5 years, you know, when he needs a new roof, you know, hey, we'll be right back here to, you know, help him out with that also. But there's the gist of it, and it's really not that big of a repair. It's really not a super costly repair. It's just it's a fraction of redoing the entire roof. So here we are, top to bottom, have the wall out. All the shingles taken out from the wall. You can see the recover and the step flashing that was properly flashed, you know, originally. I cut back the modified just so, you know, you can see it, because I'm going to put a new layer either from the top of the separating wall and then down, and then heat it down, you know, over top of the new step flashing that I'm going to incorporate back into this area with ice and water shield. You know, I'm going to ice and water shield it, go up, and, you know, then step it, you know, shingle it and step it. Again, I apologize for the wind. So when you start up here and you come down, it starts getting moist, you know, a little more, and here soaking wet underneath this shingle. This is just, you know, plain and simple. So here we have it. Any ice, snow, we had a lot of snow recently, but even just regular downpours are going to get this layer of shingle. The water's going to hit the wall, go here, get, you know, of course it's not going to go under the first layer because it's got step flashing, and then it's going to get under and get trapped in between the 2 layers, and right down here, totally soaked up. You know, that's one of the main issues that he was having. But so there's the gist of it, and the proper way to take care of reflashing a sidewall, whether it's commercial, which this is commercial, you know, but it's still, you know, it's still a shingle. And, you know, you still, you know, do the proper steps, you know, get your ice water under, you know, as far as you can, you know, run it up the wall, you know, 4 to 5 inches, then start your shingles, you know, install the step flashing, and then I'm going to come over the step flashing, I'm going to secure the step flashing, and I'm going to come over and terminate it with the modified you know, modified torch, GAF modified torch materials. So that's how, that's basically the gist of it. So we got this one over here, and I mean, you could see over here, there's still icy, it's still icy and everything, but look how it's lifting, you know, all the shingles. I mean, if you look straight up, shingles are just lifting up, and I mean, the water just, you know, gets right in between those 2 layers. And I'm sure I'm going to find exactly the same thing. So I'm going to get hitting this one, taking the shingles out, and try and get everything buttoned up. All right. So we're all finished up here. We got the ice and water shield underneath the shingles going up the wall. The shingles are all back installed with new step flashing an entire wall. We got the modified torch coming down over top of the new step flashing, which we primed that with asphalt primer, and everything's sealed up. We have some nice bleed outs right here. You know, the whole way, everything is bled out really nice. The down seams are nice and bled out. And I apologize about the wind. However, and you know, basically, you know, the final touch, any seams that we, you know, broke, we go back and we reseal all the seams. Every seam that we broke, we basically reseal them. So, I mean, you know, something as simple as that, you know, you don't reseal them, the wind catches them, and then, you know, you fix something, and now you got, you know, you got other problems, which it's very simple and easy. Just go back, any seams you broke, reseal them. And then to end the night or the day, basically a 1 hour fire watch. While you're cleaning up, you undo the torch, you know, you put it over, make sure you have a fire extinguisher and everything like that. And then, you know, basically hang out for an hour, clean up, make sure, you know, everything is good, and you know, no issues with fire. You know, I always make sure I do an hour, maybe even a 2 hour fire watch, and you know, have a great day and be safe.